You take off your shirt. You don't look fat, but you don't look skinny. Nor do you look fit by any means. You're kind of in a weird middle of skinny and fat. Sure, people aren't going to completely and utterly roast your physique, but inside you just don't feel good about yourself. Let me take you back to 2020. This was the exact feelings that I felt. I was skinny for most of my life. And then senior year, 18 years old, right after high school graduation, I looked in the mirror and I was utterly shocked. The years of lounging around, eating snacks, and bullshit, quite frankly, caught up to me. I was finally becoming a man, and my body didn't really show it. A man in the way that you think maybe your uncle would look. You get me? No. Okay, I looked soft. I was skinny fat. This physique is a physique that actually most men have. I know this because not only was I skinny fat, but I've also coached skinny fat clients. And I have ran into problems not only on my journey, but I ran into problems on the journey of my clients. So I make this video to tell you guys and outline every single problem and most definitely solution to being skinny fat. You're gonna know everything in order to get from skinny fat to muscular, jacked, and beyond. And if you don't believe me, you see me sitting down in this chair. Yes, let me just hit you with the. I know what I'm talking about, sort of. Ooh, little tricep, little tricep, little tricep. Ooh, there we go. So skinny fat is more about body composition. You see, being skinny, it's a little bit easier to get fit, and even being fat, it's a little bit easier. At least it's clearer. You see, if you're fat, all you have to do is lose weight and then put on muscle. If you're skinny, it's even easier because all you have to do is really put on muscle. But if you're skinny fat, it can be confusing. Should I bulk? Should I cut? People are usually in this in-between section. And the truth is, man, you just put on muscle. But there's other things that we need to go over as well. And starting off is the diet. The diet. No, but for real, the diet is literally one of the most important things for transforming your physique. You know what they say, what you eat is what you kind of are. So if you eat bullshit at least 24/7, then you are going to be fat. But if you undereat the protein as well, that is going to translate into a skinny fat physique. Now you know why you got here. To keep it simple, the best thing to do is eat whole foods. I don't mean the, you know what I mean, what the fuck am I talking about? The best thing to do is eat whole foods. That means chicken, eggs, beef. Greek yogurt is also great for making low-calorie sauces and all that. One of the things that can create a skinny fat physique is also snacks. So snacking whenever you feel emotional, and we're gonna go into the mindset section in a bit. But if you want to have carbs, you have to have carbs around a workout or an activity. Even if you're just going off for a walk, it's good to have carbs. Then I'm not a person who's like, you should cut out carbs completely. Never been like that. Like, have your carbs 100%, but just make sure they're coming from a clean source. I like to eat bananas. Bananas are a fire carb source. Or have them before a workout. So yeah, I might eat like a Rice Krispie treat before a workout, and you know, something that has a little bit more glucose, something that is a fast acting carb. Carbs before your workout is great, but when you have carbs and you're not doing an activity, they just kind of sit, right? And when they sit, you have to think of them like sitting on your physique. But going back to protein, this is probably the most important section, as you may have guessed, because protein builds muscle. That's it. That's all it does. It repairs muscle, more like. But the point is that you need to maximize your protein. I mean, get a protein supplement, get a protein shake, because that's one of the easiest, quickest, fastest way. Anything works, guys. If you're vegan, get vegan protein. If you like whey, get whey protein. Literally anything works. I like a vegan protein myself because that whey should be killing my stomach. So I like the little sandy taste that's in the vegan protein. You know, if you ever tried vegan protein, man, that shit tastes like sand. But try your absolute best to get your carbs, to get your but try your absolute best to get your protein. And chicken and beef, these are going to be your best friends because not only do they have protein, but they have a little bit of fat in them. And I know. Right now, you are scared of fat. You're looking at your belly right now and you're like, no, I cannot put any more fat on Dante. I understand. But fats are actually good for hormonal health. Now, if you are eating fat in a moderate way, okay, not if you're overeating, not if you're eating something that's like too greasy. You want to avoid greasy foods because greasy foods are going to have a lot too much fat in them. But when you have something like beef, when you have something like chicken or eggs, those have a moderate amount of fat in them. So that is the stuff that we want to eat. We want to eat stuff that has a moderate of fat in them because what it does is it helps out your hormones. And when I'm talking about hormones, you know what I'm talking about, right? Testosterone. We want as much testosterone as possible. If you do this whole thing, I've had clients tell me that they literally feel their best because they never had that much like testosterone before. I mean, you get on a workout program and you start having moderate fats regularly, like your testosterone shoots up in the sky. And testosterone for men is like a feel good hormone. The big reason why a lot of men have belly fat, it's actually because of estrogen, right? It's because we have too much estrogen. We have estrogen in the water, man. We got estrogen everywhere. It's in the sky. It's in the plastics. It's everywhere. Okay, we want to run from estrogen like hell, because that's the stuff that makes our physiques look like women physiques. A woman who doesn't work out physique in specific. We can make a whole video about hormones. This basic session is about your diet. To wrap it up, your protein should be a good protein supplement, chicken, beef, eggs. Those are also where you're going to get your fats from. And then in terms of carbs, personally, I don't really do rice, but rice is a great carb. Tortillas is more what I do. And you can have snacks, but make sure they are moderate or before a workout. Nothing too crazy, like nothing in the 200 calorie zone. Try to avoid anything in the 200 calorie zone. That shit crazy. Another big thing is no liquid calories. This has been on my thing forever. I don't do liquid calories, okay? No liquid calories. We're not doing any liquid calories, okay? So pick up a drink, right? Maybe like it's Dr. Pepper. It comes in this small little can. You think it's fine. No, okay? That shit probably has like 150 calories on it. And you may think that's not a lot, but that adds up over time. So if you are addicted to a liquid calorie, just make sure it is the diet version. The diet version has 0 calories in it. Personally, I'm like, why don't they just make this instead of this? But to each their own, whatever. We don't want to be NPCs. We want to be jacked. So make sure you pick up the diet version of every single drink, okay? I've had people do that, and that alone can shred like 3 pounds, 5 pounds, keep you shredded, and all you did was literally drink diet Dr. Pepper instead of normal Dr. Pepper. So we want to avoid the calories. They don't fill you up, and they're really just calories. You're just having calories. It's not good for you. Next section is the mindset shift. Now, I know you want to click off at right now because you're like, I got the diet, man. All I need is the diet. I'm good. No, the mindset is literally the most important thing. Because before you even go to the gym, you have to have the thought of, I want to go to the gym. So your mindset, what you think inside, is what is creating your reality and most definitely your physique, right? Skinny fat is a problem. It is a standard problem. When I looked at myself at 18 years old and I saw that my belly was going out like that, I was like, holy shit. Because that wasn't the standard. I was normally skinny. So for guys who have been skinny fat for all their lives, it's time to raise your standard. It's time to love yourself on a greater level, not on the, social media level where it's like, oh, love yourself if you're fat and stuff. No, actually love yourself, actually put in the discipline and say, you know what? I want to be jacked. I want to be healthy. I want to be healthy and jacked. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start going to the gym. But what is the mindset when you actually are in the gym, when you actually get yourself there? Well, you want to train with intensity. Guys, this is the rarest thing that I have seen with people who go to the gym. And even for me, and it doesn't matter what level you are at, it will always affect you, okay? Is training with intensity. If I go to a gym right now, if I go to my local gym, I will see like 2 to 3 guys train with intensity. If I really observe them, right? And anyone can tap into it, right? I've seen women train with incredible intensity. Anybody can tap into it. And I've seen really, really skinny dudes train with intensity, right? To me, it doesn't matter what weight is on the barbell. It matters like what face you are making, right? The point is that training with intensity is so key because that is how you are going to build muscle the quickest. That is how we are going to tear the muscle fibers and repair them stronger. That's all we're trying to do here. You should have fear when you are in the gym. You should put weight on the barbell that you are scared of. You should be scared of the next set, okay? Even when it comes to in between rest times, man, your rest times in between the sets, to me personally, shouldn't be longer than like 2 to 3 minutes, right? I usually take like a minute. I try to take shorter rest times, but 2 to 3 minutes, perfectly fine, right? And hydration as well. Make sure you're hydrating. Just a side point. But the bigger point is that you have to train with intensity. This is where you are going to grow. So you have to maximize that 45 minutes to an hour that you are actually in the gym. Yeah, if you are not sore, you did not train with intensity, you did not give it your all. And that's the thing, man. When you walk out of those doors, you're going to know, did you give it your all or did you not? Okay, like it should be painful. Okay, when you are trying to become different, when you're trying to reach a next evolution, pain will occur because you must die. You must kind of die from your lower self in order to become your best self. Because the habits you do now is going to shape your future. Everything, the body, this is not from right now. This is from all the stuff that I did do. You know what I'm saying? So when you are skinny fat, you're not skinny fat because right now it's all the stuff that you did do. It was the over snacking. It was the not counting your calories, not tracking your macros, all that stuff. Ooh, that's one thing I forgot about the diet. Oh, with the diet, I want you to have as much protein as your body weight. Some people are gonna say zero point 0.7. Some people are gonna say 0.8. That shit is kind of hard to remember for me. I just think, how much do I weigh? That's how much protein I eat. Unless it goes over my calories, which could happen. But how much you weigh, how much protein you eat. Basically, especially if you're skinny fat, that's perfect. You're gonna feel very full though, I will say that. So don't think of yourself as naturally small. When I was skinny, I thought of myself, oh, I'm naturally skinny. I'm just gonna stay skinny. Both of my brothers work out, but me, I'm just gonna stay skinny. I'm gonna be the skinny brother. I used to skate. I still skateboard. Yeah, I still skateboard a little bit. But I skated. Skaters were skinny, so I was like, I'm gonna stay like this. Don't think of yourself as this is what I'm going to stay. If you're skinny, it makes it more comfortable, right? But never think of yourself, this is what I'm going to stay. I got bad genetics. I'm not built for muscle. Stop creating a story on why you cannot do something, right? The most empowering thing is actually to create a story of why you can do something. Even if you think it's bullshit, bro, the brain, they have shown studies where the brain doesn't know the difference between are you lying or are you telling the truth. This is why we think our dreams are like real life, okay? Because it can't, the brain can't tell the difference. So if you just say, yeah, I'm built for muscle, it's gonna feel like bullshit the first time. But if you keep saying it, and then as you're working out, you say, I'm built for muscle, you are going to feel like you're built for muscle. That's what I did. I used to hate doing push-ups. I hated it until I told myself, man, I love doing push-ups. I love this stuff. I actually love the pain. I love the pain. I kept saying that. I love the pain. I love the pain. I love the pain. And then eventually I actually started to love the pain. Weirdly enough, like, how do you love pain? It's because you just kept telling yourself it, and then you control your brain. Your brain doesn't control you. Whatever your brain is telling you is just a story that it is telling itself from past behavior that you learned from your people, your parents, siblings, classmates, something. Okay, there's some bullshit story on why you can't do whatever, but that's not actually true because you control your brain. So if you keep telling yourself the bullshit, you're going to keep living in the bullshit. But if you tell yourself, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and actually tell yourself why you can, then you're going to be able to do. So let's wrap it up. Basically, we want to lift heavy about 3 to 4 times a week. We want to eat enough protein, 1 pound per body weight. So if you weigh 170, you want to have 170 grams of protein. Simple. We want to build some muscle before cutting. So you may look a little bit soft at first, but we want to build we want to lift for like 2 to 3 years before we even cut. Okay. So I don't want this to be in your head. I gotta cut. No, bro, you have to build muscle. All right. And most importantly, guys, train with intensity and stay consistent. Don't think I'm just going to get jacked and I'm going to quit and I'm going to be on the beach. Boom. Don't think I'm just trying to train for this summer, or I'm just trying to train for, this date or whatever. No, you're trying to train for your whole entire life. We are looking for longevity, not vanity. Okay. And lastly, if you guys want any help, I have trained hundreds of men in order to become the best self. I do self-mastery and fitness training. If you want any help, let me know. And if you got my help, if you got me as a coach, I guarantee you're not gonna be skinny fat for long. Okay? Give me 90 days. Change your life. Trust. But that's it for today, guys. Have a great one. Peace out.